Well, hey, Rain Nation, I'm so excited to be here with you guys this week for another hour of power. This week is kind of a little bit different. This is Thanksgiving week. Today is, we're just a few days before Thanksgiving when I'm doing this, but I'm just so grateful for so many things. I'm grateful, first of all, for this hour of power every single week where I have the blessing and the privilege to be able to just sit down and interview people from all around the world, hear their stories, listen to them, learn from them, but feel the passion that people have and the goodness that's out there amongst the Rain family. And it's just so uplifting, and it's just an absolute joy to be able to hear from you guys, to listen to your stories, and learn from the things that you guys all have to say. And that's like the whole purpose of this, this hour of power. For those that are here for the first time, we do this for you. We do this for the Rain family, as together as we go out and share the amazing seed concept and the seed story with people. There's a lot of good that can come from that. And you're going to hear some things today from some people that that I've had the privilege to meet, some of them face to face, some of them not. But they're just making an impact on the world. They've done some good things in their lives, and they continue to bless people in the things that they do, even inside and outside of Rain. And that's what I love about this, is this type of platform that we're involved in brings just amazing people to the business, to this Rain family, and a lot of good comes out of that. So I'm hoping that you guys have had an amazing Thanksgiving week, that you've been able to, reflect on the things that you're grateful for. Some of the things that I'm grateful for. And I wanted to do this and wear my Rain hat, the new logo, and be here in front of the Rain sign, because this is one of those things that I'm super grateful for. This business has been, had a lot, like any business, right? A lot of ups and downs over the years, but we've been able to do some pretty amazing things, and the impact that this business has not only had on you, but it's had a big impact on me and my family. And I'm just super grateful for Rain, for the people inside of Rain. Even here at the corporate office, there's a lot of good people here that have made this thing possible. Some people that you don't even know about, that have gone out and made some extreme sacrifices to make sure that this company stays around and is able to be able to help us all out. So I'm super grateful for that. I'm super grateful for my family, especially my wife, and the sacrifices that she's made to be able to allow me to do what I do every single day and spend the time, with you and on the road. As a lot of we travel a lot in this business. We put a lot of time and energy, and it requires sacrifice from all ends, because we miss out on things, and we've been able to travel, and we take some of even our most precious moments, like you're going to hear a little bit on our anniversary. We've traveled and done meetings, but my wife has been a super supporter, like a lot of your spouses, I'm sure, that are super supportive of you. We can't do this alone. That's what we can't do these types of things alone. So anyway, I'm just super grateful, thinking of the Thanksgiving and the things that I'm grateful for. And I want you to reflect, as this week and even today, just for a few minutes, of the things that you're grateful for and the things that have blessed your life, and maybe even go out and share some of those things on social media. Invite, just for nothing more than just, tell people why you're thankful for what you're thankful for. And we'll make this place a little bit better. So I'm going to quit talking. Let's jump in to our first interview. I'm super excited for what we have in store for you guys this week. So we'll get going. All right. Well, everybody, our next guest is someone that I'm actually meeting for the first time today as well. So I'm super excited to hear her story. We've briefly chatted, and I'm excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. So Carolyn, I appreciate you jumping in here and taking some time out of your busy day, getting ready for the holidays to join us. So how are things going?
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be here to share my story. And
Awesome,
I did
awesome, awesome.
meet you. I did meet you when you came to Connecticut. You and
Oh,
your lovely wife
that's right. That's right.
came during your anniversary.
That's
Beautiful.
that's right. You're absolutely correct. That's right. We did meet up there on that. That was a lot of fun. I got my wife talked into to going up to Connecticut for our anniversary, and we actually did a meeting we had about 100 people there that day. So that was
Yes,
pretty
we
cool, huh?
did. Yes,
That's
it was
right.
on fire.
I remember that. That's cool. So tell everybody, a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? A little bit about your background.
Okay, I'm from Connecticut. As you know, I'm from Connecticut. I've been doing my profession was social work. I'm a retired social worker. I retired early to take care of my mom. So a lot of and I did radio. I do radio, host and produce a show called Let's Talk About It, and we talk about all of the situations that's going on today. And there's a segment called PISH, Person of Interest Story of Hope, people that's returning from prison, returning from domestic violence situations, whatever it is that they're going through, to reacclimate them back to society. I serve the population of domestic violence, mental health, elders, individuals with chronic and systemic situations, traumatic acquired brain injury. I was a team leader for psychologists, psychiatrists, nurses, you have it. I was a team leader for that. And I love doing that. Sexual assault, relationships, just a host of different things. I love people. So I did people. Yeah.
So cool. So cool. So that's awesome that you've been in that. So kind of. So you've been doing that. You retired then from that. You were telling me a little bit about you like to travel. Sounds like you get to move around a little bit.
I do. I love to travel, and RAINN have afforded me to travel to build a team in the Virgin Islands. So that's where my mother's from.
Okay.
So I was able to go back there and work with people back there and had a lot of fun. This is so much fun.
I love it. I love it. Well,
Mhm.
so cool. Well, so tell people, I mean, how did you find RAINN? How did RAINN find you? How did that process work?
Boy, I'm so blessed to have found RAINN and RAINN find me. What happened is my upline, Sandy, her name is Sandy, we used to walk 5 miles every day. And one summer, we both could not walk. I couldn't, and my mother lived downstairs. I couldn't even get downstairs to help her because I had osteoarthritis of the knees.
Okay.
So when I get to the bottom of the stairs, I'm like, what am I going to do for her? Because everything is weight bearing. And one day Sandy came by and she said, you gotta try this stuff. I'm like, oh no, here we go. Here we go. Some new concoction, some new stuff. She called me for 3 days in a row with the one, she gave me one bag. And I really couldn't clean my house well. I couldn't really take care of my mother like I wanted to because of my knees. So she gave me the one bag. She called me 3 days in a row. And the third day, I said, let me go ahead and take this stuff before she calls me day 4. So I took it. And in 4 hours, I actually felt the difference. It was like so subtle. And I started to move around better. I slept really well that night. Of all nights in 10 years of taking care of my mom, that night I slept so well. But the pain dissipated. And then there were other things that came along with it. So I said, look, I don't play around. I have to have whatever that is. I need it. So I ordered it, and she was supplying me with like 2 or 3 until I got my box. And I sat on the side of the bed drinking. She told me to drink it in the morning. So I drank it in the morning. And my day 3, my husband said, what are you doing over there? I said, well, there's a little something that, my friend gave me to help me with my knees. So he wanted to try it. I said, oh no, he's going to get into my stash, right? So I gave him some, he bought some. But it did so many things for me along the way. People say try it for 90 days, but I'm always uncovering something that it do. It's because it's so subtle. Like this is going away or that's going away. I know I had they were trying to put me on statin drugs for high cholesterol. I said, no way, no way. So the doctor, he said, you got to have statin drugs. I said, no, I'll be back in 6 months. So I took core. That's when I added core, and it drove it down a little bit. And he still insisted, you have to have these statin drugs. I said, no. He said, take an aspirin. I said, no, what I got is it's just fine. Went back. He was not even looking at my, chem profile. I said, look, it's below whatever is required.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, okay, well, just keep doing what you're doing. You bet I did. So it's helped me in a lot of ways. I've had situations with my gum. I was going to the dentist, had a situation where they said I had gingivitis, or however you say it.
Yeah.
And I told the dental hygienist told me, you need a deep cleaning. I said, I heard somebody say that they switched this stuff around. So I'm going to switch it around before I go back. So a month later, I went back. She said, what are you doing? And I told her, she bought some, right? That's the best. She said, you don't need it anymore. So I said, great. It's done a lot of things for my family as well. Families are often times not the one to believe, right?
Right.
But my husband, he's into bodybuilding. He did competition. He's vegan. And when he found the form, that was like it. He started he takes everything. And the same thing with the core. He had GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. And they were giving him some medication. And when they gave him the medication, it showed up in his kidneys. So he said, no, I can't do this. I said, well, let's start taking the core. Why don't you start taking the core? Because someone came back from Africa, a nephew of his, and told him, look, uncle, why don't you take the wheatgrass? So he was getting the wheatgrass. But when he found out that the wheatgrass was in this, he started taking it. Went back to the doctor. Doctor said he looked good. He didn't need the medication. It's done a lot of things. I have a tori, and sometimes that gets irritated. Tori is a bony growth at the top of the ceiling of my mouth, and it would get irritated. And I heard Dr. Weeks said, just swish it around in the mouth. That's what I did. And it took the swelling down and irritation and so on and so forth. So I'm hooked on these. I have family members, my sister that has RA, sickle cell. She has sickle cell trait. So there's a lot of complications. She couldn't walk for a period of time. These. I'm not saying that, and I know it's against to say, oh, it heals you.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, when we ingested this stuff, you could see a world of difference. She started walking. She was able to get around. She avoided high blood pressure medication. She averted taking asthma medication. Her granddaughter with her menstruation, this stuff is really good. It's all I can say. It's really good. And if you get someone with a big mouth like mine, when it's good and you want to share it, that's the best way to do it. If you have a testimony, So if I heard a lot of different testimonies, and I know that things are incremental. It's not always like Zoom, So I know they say 90 days, but I'm enjoying it. But my health is even getting better. My skin, it's just so much better for me. It helps.
That's pretty cool. And that's some of the things that it's funny that you mentioned some of those things, because they're some of the things that you're saying I haven't necessarily heard before. So I'm glad that you're mentioning that, because there's some advantages, like even with your mouth and that, dental and things like that, that inflammation can cause all kinds of issues. So it's great that you're mentioning that, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are listening to this that are going to go and try that, because it's a thing. Well, and that's the other thing I like. Appreciate what you're sharing with us today, is because even like you said, these aren't products that are made to cure disease. I mean, we don't make those kinds of claims, but the reality is when people try the products, when they try them out and they give them a chance, right? Like what you're saying, you kind of takes a while sometimes for people to just give it a chance, because most of the time things don't necessarily work, right? For when you start talking about natural products, it's not something that most people don't really feel the effects, if ever, right? But they take them because they hope that they're doing good. Well, this is a little bit different. It's a little bit unique in the sense that It is a high impact product. You actually do feel it when you
Yes.
take it. So kind of fast forward your story. Now you're kind of doing the business. You just hit a new rank, right? You're getting up into the, starting to rank advance and do some things. How has the business kind of evolved for, in Rain now that you've kind of been doing this for a little bit?
Oh, it's wonderful. First of all, I like meeting people. People know that I will talk to anybody anywhere. And it's been it's been a good ride for me because I was taking care of my mom, like I said, and I was kind of like in, but to get out to meet different people, I got to say, you guys are a triple threat. KC, right? You, Russ, and Byron. I have to call you triple threat. My husband he watches wrestling. But what I started to do is I said, you know what? I'll go to my mother's hometown. I'll go to where she was born and start going there because I have cousins and people there, right? So my cousin had she's always in MLM and she's always networking. So I said, I'll hit her up. So it took me 2 months to hit her up. I said, I'm coming. We're going to do this thing. And she was really receptive. Thank God for her. She was really receptive and she had a team. She had people that were willing to try the product. We went into hospitals. That's really crazy, right? To go into a hospital, right? We started our first meeting in a hospital and then in a bar, right? Well, I say a room next to a bar. It was like a little room next to the bar. But me being who I am, I go to the bar and I said, "You guys ever try this stuff?" So like, "What's that?" I said, "You got to try this stuff. It's better than what you're drinking, right?" So they gave me some kind of excuse. The guy said, "I don't have any money. I have fun with this. I don't have any money." I said, "You got $5 to buy a drink. You got $5 to get a bag, right?" So he says, "I don't have any money in my pocket." I said, "Go up the hill and get the money, get the money." So he gets the money and he comes back only to find out that the bartender had been taking this product for some time. And I said, "Well, what does it do for you?" He said, "I'm a runner."
Okay.
And he said it took him, further and he was able to do better and run further. So we developed a team there. And I kept going back there until the storms, right? So I have fun with this. It's not just the product like to say, I'm going to sell it, I'm going to make it to the top. But I think if you do your due diligence and tell people about what it does to have this optimal product creating this optimal health, and they see you doing well and others doing well with big mouths, right? Then it spreads. It spreads. And I have to really thank God for Vendette and Robert too, because they're gatherers. So they would gather us, give us information, and send us out. So it's such a beautiful thing. And the team that I have, I don't do it by myself. I don't pretend to do it by myself. I don't try to say I'm getting to the top by myself. That's not how this thing works, And I remembered that Dr. Russ Johnson, because they have different speakers on, and I attend the Zoom or whatever, their conference calls. And he would say one thing that kept me was rest if you must, but don't quit. And I know that's by, what's his name? Well, anyway, it's an author that writes books, right? Yep. So, and I always kept that in the back of my mind because there were times when I did get tired because taking care of my mother was 102 when she passed. She took the product, and when she took the product, she talked. I mean, she was up close and personal. She wasn't talking about like yesterday or whatever. And she took the product, and people around her started taking the product. So the product kind of speaks for itself. As long as you say, "Hey, I got this. You want to try this thing?" Yeah. I think that's how it is for me. It's not like trying to reach up to the top without considering people, but to think about there are people that need this product, and I'm not going to keep my mouth closed, and developing relationships.
I love it. Well, and it does. It kind of becomes a little bit of a responsibility, right? I mean, when you do something like this, and you're saying some good things. I hope you guys are all, even taking notes about this, because that's the whole key to this whole business. You don't necessarily need to know everything about everything, right? You just need to know why it worked for you, you know, and why is it working for other people. And that's the whole reason why we even do this call, is because we want other people that are joining the business to be able to tell your story. You know, one of the things that you said too about runners, I don't know, you know, I think there's a few runners out there in the world, right? There's just a few of those guys around. I met a guy down in Mexico who's a marathon runner, and he took the product. The first time he took the product was right before a race. He took it literally like 30 minutes before his marathon. And after he got done with his marathon, he came back looking for the person that shared the product with him to buy more, because it was the first time that I mean, this guy's an Olympic runner. I mean, he's not just, you know, he's actually sponsored by the Mexican government. They fly him around, and he was able to, and you know, he used the product. It's the first time he came back, and he's like, I don't have like near the pain that I normally have when I run as hard as I'm running. I mean, this guy is, like I said, he's running at a whole, you know, other level than the rest of us, right? But but look what it's doing for even professional athletes. So, you know, a lot of good things, a lot of, you know, you guys just kind of have to try it out, right? You just have to give it a shot. Give it a chance, and it'll happen. Well, Carolyn, to kind of wrap this up, you know, I appreciate you jumping on here, and I always give people kind of that last kind of closing remark. Is there anything like in your life? I mean, you've experienced a lot of things. What's one tip or something that you would share? You know, now you got the platform of the world listening in. What would you share with the RAIN partners, you know, around the world? What's something that you would like to share with them, kind of to close this up?
Breathe. Either see the light or feel the heat, right? So there's some people that see the light and see where this is going and join and jump on board. And some people have to go through some stuff, right? They feel the heat, then they see the light. So in finishing, just to say, see the light. And the light is, it's boundless of what we can do with this. You know, 40 plus countries. I'm impressed to see how it have grown and see how you guys are taking it to a whole different level. It encourages me. And, you know, we talk about empowering people, but it's not so much empowering people. It's stirring up the power within, tapping that power and stirring up the power within, and teaching people. We say people are not motivated, but finding out what motivates a person. You know, it's either seeing the light or feeling the heat. So, you know, I thank God for you guys and how you're moving. I know this is tough, but it's fun at the same time. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I meet wonderful people. You know, it's all encompassing. It's not just selling the product, which I do make a benefit, which is really good. I love that part of it. But I love to see people get better. I love to see people reach that optimal health, whatever that is for them. So I thank you for having me on, and it's a wonderful product, and I'm a lifer. My husband and I were lifers.
Well, thank you, Carolyn, for jumping on. Well, you heard it here, guys. See the light. See the light. We got to chase it, and that's what it's all about. So thank you so much for jumping on. Awesome stories. I look forward to seeing you continue to grow and make things happen as you're well on your way, you know, hitting some new ranks and helping a lot of people. And that's what, you know, I love to see that. So appreciate you. And honestly, we can't do what we do without you guys. So, you know, it's a definite thing we're super grateful for, you know, kind of the Thanksgiving time, you know.
2 words. Rank up.
Exactly. Rank up, guys. Let's get out there and make it happen. Thank you, Carolyn. We'll have
you're welcome.
Later. All right.
Okay. Take care. Have a good one.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. Well, our next guest here, I'm super excited to sit down and meet her, and it's Naomi Oji, right? She's here in the United States, and we're just sitting here getting to know each other a little bit, but she's making things happen, guys. She's rank advancing. You just hit silver, right? For the
silver executive. That's
for the
right.
First time, and it was just last week, and her name popped up on my radar, so I wanted to get to know her and bring her in. And I know she's got an amazing story. So Naomi, thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day. I know you're running around with your team,
Yeah.
making things happen. But thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Casey, for having me. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, Naomi, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your background. Where are you from? You know, where you're obviously here in the United States now. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Originally from Nigeria. I lived in the United Kingdom for a while, for about 25 years, before I relocated to the United States of America 4 years ago. And I'm a grandma. I had time on my hands, so I just play with the grandchildren. But then a few months ago, one of my friends told me about Seed Nutrition, because she was using the product and it helped her dissolve her kidney stones.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I took notice. I sat up and took notice because, this is absolutely incredible. I've already been told about it. I heard about Rain about 3 years ago, but I wasn't interested in network marketing, anything like that. So I didn't really pay attention until this friend told me about her journey with Rain and her kidney stones. So with the lockdown in force, I couldn't go back and see my doctor in the United Kingdom because I still, do that. So I asked her, would this help me with my high blood pressure? Do you think? She said, yes, I think it will help you. And so I started taking Soul and Core and Bend. And I can assure you, it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me, because my blood pressure has gone down, and sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, my blood pressure gone down and I'm feeling great. So I can help, but tell people about it. I'm so enthusiastic about the products, and whenever I tell people about it, they stop and listen.
Perfect. Well, just off of curiosity, your high blood pressure, how long have you dealt with that?
About 7 to 10 years.
And then were you doing anything specific to
I was on high blood pressure medication. Okay. Yeah, but then I ran out of my high blood pressure medication in May. I was supposed to go back to refill. So when I ran out, but then I'm happy that I met Rain, or Rain met me, whatever. Yeah, so I've not been on my high blood pressure medication since May.
Wow. And
I've not been on anything, and I feel great. Yeah.
That's great. Well, and so for people that are listening, what are you doing? What do you take? Like how many Soul, how many Core? What's your day look like, and how's that?
Yeah. I take all of them. I started with Core. I detoxed with Core for about 3 days to start with. And then I started taking Soul in the morning, Core in the afternoon, Soul at night.
Okay. And then you just taking one packet of each, or?
Yeah, just one sachet of each.
Okay.
Yeah, I started with one Soul in the morning, one Core at night after the 3-day detox with Core. And then because, I also have lupus. Okay. So I heard in a testimonial that Bend is very good for lupus. So I added Bend to it. So now I'm just fine. I feel great. I have a lot of energy, and I'm helping other people to do the same. One of my friends, I gave her 3 sachets of Bend to try. She has sciatica. Mm-hmm. So after 3 days, she called me and said, "What was that you gave me? They are amazing, and I want to order my own box." So she's on Bend now as well. She takes Bend 1 in the morning, 1 at night.
Okay. Perfect. And so then she's having some good results with that then.
Yes, she was supposed to have her steroid injection in July, but as a result of being on Bend, she canceled that. She didn't go for the steroid injection because Bend was good for her. It was helping her deal with the pain.
And that's extremely common. I don't know if it is for you or a lot of your friends, but out here in Utah, there's a lot of people. I don't know. I'd be interesting to hear from you guys that are watching this on Facebook Live right now. If you guys know of why this is happening to people, but it's pretty common, like having sciatic problems, right?
Yeah.
Nerve, I guess, obviously it's got to be some type of an inflammatory issue, right? I'll have to go and do some research on it, but it seems like it's a pretty common thing, right?
It is common, yeah. I didn't know about it before until, I met this girl, this friend who had it. And then from Rain, I started meeting people with it, and many of them who I've recommended Rain to, they are really getting relief from their condition, dealing with the pain.
Yeah, getting rid of that pain, because it can be pretty debilitating, right? I know at least the people that I know that have it, it's not a fun thing. So that's cool.
No.
So she's taking one in the morning, one at night.
One in the morning and one in the evening. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. No, that's
for me, I take right now I take 2 Sol and 1 Bend, and every other day I take core. I don't take core every day. I take it every other day.
Every other, and you're doing it at night?
I take in the evening, yes.
Okay.
When I do take it, I take it in the evening because it helps me to sleep as well.
Yeah. And people should experiment a little bit with those things, because for you and myself, like I find that when I take, like, for instance, Bend at night, like I get super like
yeah, hype. Yeah, no, I don't think
some people have no problem with it, right? And they sleep great.
Yeah, everybody's different.
For myself, I can take Sol before bed and I sleep, amazing. I was with my son last night playing tennis. He's starting to want to play tennis. We go real late at night after kind of at like 9:30, we drive down here to play tennis in these courts.
How old is he?
He's 15. He's 15. Oh, yeah. So we were down there playing tennis, and I got home, and after an hour and a half of that, I'm like, I better take some product, and I slept awesome. So, well, that's good. Well, so kind of fast forward a little bit. So you get in, you start the business, right? You first try the products out. It works for you. And then, is that what kind of got your attention, was the products, or what made you join Rain?
It was the effect it had on my friend. So I didn't try the product first before joining. I joined at the same time. I said, this product seems to be awesome. And so I'm not going to enjoy it myself. I'm going to share it with others. And that's what I started doing right away. I started sharing, drinking, sharing at the same time.
Love it.
Yeah.
So you started sharing it. Now, obviously, fast forward here, right? You're now silver.
Yeah.
How did that work for you? What did you have to do anything? I'm kind of baiting you here a little bit, but did you have to do anything out of like the ordinary to hit silver? What happened? How did that come about?
No, actually, I would have hit bronze in August, but I didn't have a manager team, you see. So anyway, I just talk about the product. I share it with people. I didn't give much thought to what I needed to do to rank in those. I went straight to senior manager. I skipped manager, went straight to senior manager. So shortly after that, I was going to hit bronze, but I didn't have a manager team. So that's when I stepped back and said, okay, you need to do something here. So I started, my upline is very good. She's hands-on, SOA, so DESOA. So she said, you have to do this, you have to get manager teams, So that's when I really sat down and paid attention to the workings of this. And I knew I needed to have a manager team. I needed to have 2 manager teams for silver and all that. So I started building a team. But that might be tricky as well, because not everyone who comes into the business wants to do the business.
Right.
Some just come in and then they say, oh, I've been talking to people, they don't listen to me, So I had a little bit of that. Many of my partners were not very active. Yeah, but then I kept going, and suddenly I started recruiting. I think I changed my mode of recruitment. So I started recruiting better business minds, And that's when it all kicked off. Got to bronze, 2 weeks later, silver. So that's very
Super
exhilarating.
great advice. That's super great advice, what you're sharing with everybody. And everybody pay attention to this, right? Because it is, that's what it's about, right? First of all, you get people get excited about the product, they start sharing it, right? But you have to learn the numbers. There are certain things that if you, and unfortunately, if you get it wrong at the beginning, it makes it a little bit tricky to get it right later on, right? Because there's
definitely
structure and ways to do certain things. So everybody pay attention to your upline, okay? And if your upline doesn't know, find the next person above that person, because it's imperative for your success, your long-term success in here in Rain, that you get it right the first time. So this is
you have to get it right the first time. Once you get it wrong, it delays everything. It slows you down. But you know, there's a momentum to this. If you go with it like that, it really skyrockets your progress. So need to learn the business well.
Yeah, well, I love it, and you're a living example of that, right? You got it right. You were kind of all over the place.
Yes.
Bronze. You know, you finally figured it out. You hit bronze, you hit silver, and I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to hit gold, platinum, and
yay! I hope so too.
I know you're going to do it. I have no doubt.
Thank you.
I'm super impressed with you and what you've been doing. So, to kind of, you're building your team now. You're building in United States. You got teams in Nigeria. You have people over in the UK as well?
Just customers.
Just customers.
Not partners. Yes, customers.
Okay. And
I have a partner I have a customer in Canada who's soon to upgrade to partner, but she's not done it yet, but she'll do it within the next few weeks. Yes. In
Canada. So you're already in 4 countries, basically.
Mm-hmm.
See, guys, I mean, and
Rain made it all possible.
well, and maybe speak to that a little bit, Naomi, because I mean, what would it take for you if you were in your own business to try to open in 4 countries? What would that look like?
A lot of money.
Could you even do it?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we don't realize like how amazing this opportunity is in front of us, right? We're in 46.
It is an amazing opportunity, Casey. I agree, because I couldn't do it without all the tools that we've got from Rain, making it easy for us, our back office. That's awesome. So you guys are doing a good job, and we are here to support as well with
yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys, and obviously this is Thanksgiving week here, and there's a lot to be grateful for, right? I mean, and I know from my end and from Byron and myself being owners and executives here at the team, and on behalf of the entire executive team, we are so grateful for all of you Rain partners that are out there, because like you said, we can't do this alone either. We put the tools and the systems and the things together.
You're a team.
Yeah, but without all of us doing our little piece, it makes it super possible that we can go reach our goals together as we do this, as we come together and make that happen. So we're so grateful for you. So Naomi, kind of to wrap this conversation up, I always ask people when we close this up, what's one thing that you would, now that you've hit silver, that you've gone there, what's a tip that you could share with people that are listening to you? Maybe even some of your team, over in Nigeria, what's something that you would love to share with the group?
Don't get discouraged. Just keep at it. Be compassionate. Be kind, because compassion helps us to share what we have, the good we have with others. And that's what opens doors. When people know that you care for them and you want to share something good with them, they might not think they need something, but your compassion will draw them in. So that's what I teach my team members. Be compassionate. Try to help someone, and you will in turn help yourself.
I love it. Super sound advice. So guys, you heard it here. Naomi, OG, thank you so much for jumping.
You're welcome.
Great advice. It's so nice to meet you, and I look forward to working with you. Don't be a stranger. Now you got my cell phone. You give me a call anytime. You need
Thank you. I will do that. Thank you, Casey.
We'll set some things up, and I'd love to meet your team and work with you. So let's keep it going, guys. Thank you,
Thank
Noemi. Have
you.
an awesome holiday, and we will talk to you soon. Well, everybody, this has been an amazing hour of power. Thank you so much to the special guests that joined me today. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedules to share your stories. I hope that all of you learned something. I know it's a fun for me to hear these stories. And honestly, I heard a lot over the last 9 years as we've been doing this business, but it never gets old. I love hearing people's stories. I love hearing where they've come from, the things that they've been able to overcome, and how Seed Nutrition has blessed their lives. It's absolutely a pleasure to be a part of this. Now, if you or anybody if you want to participate in this, if you like this and you want to join us and be on this call, we would love you to be here with us. We want to hear your guys' stories. And if you know somebody that should be on this, okay, volunteer them. Send me an email to casey@rainintl.com. We will get you guys, or that person that you think should be on here, we will contact them and invite them to join us on this hour of power. We love hearing you guys' stories. We love meeting you. I personally, it's one of those things in the week that I look forward to, is finding those people that want to join and hear their stories and interview them. It's an absolute pleasure to get to know you guys. And that's what this is all about, right? This is a big Rain family. We've got people all around the world, and we want to hear from you. So Africa, talking to you guys, everybody in Nigeria, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia. Okay. We want to hear from you. People in Europe, too many countries to name, but we want to hear from you guys as well as North America and our folks in Asia. Okay, we want to have more of you on this call so more people can see what's going on around the world. These products aren't just for, certain locations. There are certain people with certain, maybe sicknesses, or people that are doing different exercises. These products are for the masses, and we want to hear your guys' stories. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. And like we always say, guys, let's get out there and make it rain.